Hello, guys. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's been a long time since y'all have been here, or since I have actually put anything. It hasn't been really been a long time. It's been a couple of weeks, But since I didn't say it before, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you guys. 2025 was a very interesting year, and I hope that 2026 would be kind of like 2016, where everything was mostly just challenges, people throwing ice buckets on each other, or people climbing up crates. Let's not do the last one because the last one ended in a lot of people getting injured. But one of the major things is like, I'm just thankful to actually even be able to reach this point in my life. I'm just thankful that all of the things that have happened hasn't affected me, my family, or even anybody that's close to me. And unfortunately, that these things have happened. Prayers to go out to the people who are going through things at this point in time. Like places in Nigeria where a missile was dropped on them. I don't know the entire situation, even though I kind of do know the entire situation, because I'm hearing two different things. Some places are saying, oh, there was a lot of attacks in that specific area, and some people are saying, "Oh, we ain't ever heard of any attacks in that specific area." The Nigerian folk are saying that, or at least that is what some of them are saying. I don't know, but if anybody is truly affected, that is innocent. If anybody that is innocent is affected, I really hope that things work out for them, and I hope they are able to get to safety, and I hope that with this new year, it's a new page in the history of a country that I grew up in. But even aside from that, like I said, Happy New Year to you guys. I'm just so thankful that God was able to preserve a whole lot of us, to be able to cross over into the new year. Some people were not able to make it, unfortunately, either from one thing or the other. One thing or the other. It's just kind of unfortunate that they are not here with us, but we keep it pushing. That's just what the human race has been doing for so long, and that's what we'll continue to do. We won't forget about their memories, but we still have to keep going with our lives. With a new year, we all know what comes with it. Either new year, new me, freaking quotes on Instagram, or people's resolutions. So people are in the gym right now. They ain't never been in the gym in the last like 52 weeks. That's for you science. Nah, why am I saying science people out there? This is just regular stuff. If you don't know this, that's terrible. But 52 weeks, yeah. Some of y'all haven't been in the gym in 52 weeks, but because it's like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna go to the gym today using up all the dumbbells and barbells, only for us not to see you in the next like month and a half. If some people do make it that far, but hopefully people do make it. But like on the topic of resolutions, some people might be wanting to learn a new language. Some people might want to change like their locations. Some people might want to start doing different stuff with their life. There's some people getting married. There's some people starting university. There's some people who have kids now. It's just an all-round thing. And it's cool, I'm happy for y'all. And I truly hope that everybody is actually able to get to that point that they need to be in order to go over the year safely and also with purpose. Because that's the major thing we need in this life, right after belief is purpose. A lot of people don't know what their purpose is. And it kind of leads to some people getting extremely frustrated, disgruntled, or just all around sad about the current state of their life. But to piggyback off of this, because I do like me some piggybacking, it was one of the major things I really wanted to talk about in this video, looking at the way things have been structured in the last couple of weeks, I had a lot of time to think about like the future, even though it's kind of crazy. it don't feel like a nigga is currently where they're supposed to be, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel this way. I think this is more or less just to reach out to those people who feel the exact same way, so it's not just me that's just talking to myself or talking to a microphone as it is, But it's just something that just kind of popped up into my head, and I was like, yo, sure, I'm 21 years of age, and by the amazing grace of God, I've been able to do a lot of different things that people who are older than me haven't even done. I'm actually kind of grateful for that. I have my certificate, so I'm going to get my certificate, in May. I'm going to get that certificate, and it's been a long time coming, I remember 3 years ago, keep in mind, the anniversary for when I first came to Canada was the 21st of January 2023. But I'll say 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Let me just say 4 years ago. Because 4 years ago, the thought process of me even coming here was not in any way, shape, or form available. Nobody thought that I was going to be here. And I personally thought that I kind of accepted that I was going to be there in Nigeria, for the rest of my life, basically. In my head, it was like, yo, COVID just happened. They were blocking borders. They said, ain't nobody going to get through, And I was one of the few people who did a grad in, not few people, like a bunch of people who were in that particular area did a COVID graduation. Basically, it wasn't fully the grad that we were expecting, but it happened, I was able to do all my courses and I passed. Yippee! I'm actually happy. But before I digress, 4 years ago, I was in a different university. I was just kind of hunkered down, finish the courses, get that bachelor's, maybe find work inside the country, But I never honestly expected I was ever going to be here, And now so much things have changed. I have turned 20, 21 now, and I'm going to be turning 22 in April, which is like, yo, that's actually insane. And I put a lot of pressure on myself because I'm like, yo, I have such high expectations or standards with the family that I come from. So I'm like, yo, now that I'm 21, what's the next thing? And that's for a lot of people on here. And I think maybe that's the reason why resolutions are so popular, Because for most people, or to people who just work back to back, nobody really cares that deeply about oh, it's a new year, yippee, or that stereotypical feeling of oh yeah, new year, new me. Most people aren't like that, So people are just suffocated by responsibilities that they have to go through, that this isn't even on their mind 24/7. And I think that's just the thing for me, because even this new year really didn't even feel the same as it did when 2025 came around, to be quite honest. The energy was different. It didn't feel the same. It felt like as if there was no improvement in my 2025. And the crazy thing is that there was a lot. Some things I can't say, but some things I can, I'm like, yo, there has been so much improvement in my life. Why do I now still feel like there's nothing in my life? And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys watching, or hopefully a lot of you guys who will be watching, feel or felt this way, And it's just a lot of things. Some of us are not just cut out for that specific type of life. Some of us are just really frustrated with the situation that we're in. Some of us truthfully and rightfully think that they deserve better than their current situation. But at the end of the day, there is always still this hesitation that is behind us, There wasn't hesitation for me when I was coming here, because the entire process was so quick, Normally, it takes you a year, 2 years to even be able to do what I did. For me, it took me from September to January. a couple of months. To some of you who are like on here, or at least I hope that most of the people who are watching this probably won't understand, because my demographic is mostly people in Canada based on those statistics. Yes, I unlock statistics. I have enough views for that now. But like most of the people who I've seen are Canadian. So I'm not too sure if they might understand that. But I think maybe it's just like Nigerians who are Canada. But anyways. But for that thing to kind of happen within that span is crazy and it's unheard of. But for me, even when I was going through this, I was like, yo, it's not even possible. Nothing is going to happen from this, until when it was like, oh, okay, yeah, you'll just get on the flight and head there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? What do you mean get on the flight and head there? Like, it was such a surreal situation. Even now, it still feels surreal. Like, oh, yeah, I was able to actually come here all the way from a whole nother country, and that's just insane. That's just some next level privilege right there. You know, I'm not the richest shit yet, you know. I'm just a regular person, but somehow I was actually able to get this privilege, and I'm thankful. You know, I'm really thankful. Even, like, thinking back to like how the process even happened, it was just by the grace of God. There's nothing else I can even say, because genuinely I probably won't even be here if that was the case, if it was just me. But things happened, and I was actually able to fly thousands of miles to get here, and I did. You know, went through a hassle, went through a whole 18-hour flight. 18-hour flight, yeah, 18 hours. Imagine waking up, falling asleep, and you're still in air. Like, bruh. Like, what the hell? Like, what's going on here, bro? Why are we still flying? Thinking about it now is crazy. But like, yo, I did that shit, and I'm here now. And basically almost 3 years later, it don't even feel like 3 years. There've been so much I've accomplished. I went to an amusement park for the first time. You know, I went on an amusement park ride for the first time. You know, I still don't know how to ride a bike, but like, shit, I know how to ride an electric scooter. And that's something I couldn't do when I first came to this country. You know, I'm graduating, you know. Like, things like these are just like, you're just crazy. Stranger Things ended, you know. For the past like 10, it's just so crazy how much stuff has changed or happened in the past couple of years. And it's like, yo, I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful to be alive. You know, I'm really just so happy to be alive, to be able to experience this in a situation where I did not even expect that I would have been here, you know? But yeah, one of the major things now that kept like bugging me or nagging me or like just chewing on my side was, what's the next thing I need to do? A lot of people get confused once they kind of like hit the end goal. The end goal. You know, it's either, oh, if I get this job, I'm going to be happy, or if I graduate, everything will be okay. And that was what I was saying, even back in Nigeria. I was like, yo, if I can just come here, then everything's going to be different. Things were different, but at the end of the day, they were not different because I came here. Because I actively had to work on changing things in my life, you know? And thinking back to it now, there are a lot of things I could have done back in Nigeria that could have made the years that I'd lived in my life more favorable to me, you know? But now, it's different, you know? Of all the things that I've done in my life, even at this point in my life, so to speak, you know, there was always this step-by-step kind of thing. It was like, oh, do this, do that. Don't be too loud, or don't be too this, don't be too that, And that truly affected the way I thought about myself and the way I did things in my life. But now, I genuinely want what is best for me. And this might be crazy to say. I don't care how many people I have to step on in order to get that. I do not care. I really don't care. And neither should y'all watching this. Some of you watching might be in the same situation, You're better at certain people at doing certain things, But just because of like fear of like, oh, I'm gonna fail, or oh, people are gonna laugh, or oh, fuck me then, bro. I'm just a lazy bitch ass ninja, Some of us end up stunting ourselves. And genuinely, why? Like, why are we putting ourselves at a disadvantage for other people? Aren't you hungry? Don't you want something different? Don't you want to feel different? Some people might be like, oh, that's just a very toxic way of thinking. If it is, I don't give a shit. I really don't. I'm tired. Aren't you tired? They say like 10 or 15 years ago, to be quite honest, when if you got a job, you were okay. Like genuinely. So people could live out their days. This is not a diss to nobody. Working at Walmart. And this is genuinely not a diss because that's a job though. But at that point in time, things were affordable. You could pay rent on a McDonald's or like Walmart's like paycheck. Now you might have 3 jobs, and you still be living paycheck to paycheck. Some people be like, "Oh, it's budgeting." Yeah, budgeting plays into that fact. It also helps, but like sometimes it's like, yo, you kind of have to admit that things have changed. Back then, there was more or less like a deterrent for people to actually do things that they wanted to do. But now, what's stopping you? There's really nothing stopping you. Oh, okay. What's the worst that can happen? Oh shit, I'm gonna get fired from my job. You can get another one. Or you can work at McDonald's. Or because your skills, because there's ways of getting money. It's just that a lot of people probably won't just do them, or a lot of people are scared. And to be quite honest, I'm scared too. I'm saying all of these things, but it's really just still like, yo, I'm scared, but I'm still just gonna do this thing. I'm gonna go completely 100% in, 1,000% in, because if on the off chance things actually go my way, what else do I want? On the off chance things actually do end up going your way, what is it that anybody's gonna say? Oh, if it doesn't work out, it's like, oh dang, it didn't work out. 5 years from now, you're gonna be, if you're someone who still wants to strive to live your life, you'll still be okay. Or not. This isn't, and I don't want this to be confused for like a motivational kind of thing. This is just like, yo, do some shit if you want to do some shit, Meet some people if you want to meet some people. Hate some people if you want to hate some people, At the end of the day, this is your life. This is your life. A lot of people are scared of dying, but because of their fear, you don't end up living. The bars. I could not stop myself. I'm sorry. But like, it's the truth, So people are scared of like, oh my God, I don't like skydiving. And their fear translates to planes in general. They're like, oh, they never want to fly a plane. They never go. For example, let's say if they have like an amazing job opportunity in like a different place, they never want to fly there. Because they're like, oh, but imagine if the only way to get to that place is by flying. Like, don't you, like, there's a lot of things in my life, That's I'm afraid of. And there's a lot of things that I even had to personally unpack in order to move forward. But like genuinely, aren't you tired? Because I am. I'm tired of being in the same position that I'm currently in. I'm tired of feeling like I need to put myself inside a box just so people can be okay. Or just so people can be like, oh, or comfortable. I don't care. One day we're all gonna die. One day we're all gonna turn into sand and dust. And I'm like, do the opinions of people, sure, they matter to a certain extent. Because if you're caught online doing some weird stuff, I don't think you're gonna get a job, that's for sure. But like, if it's like a project, like, oh, okay, yes, a passion project that you've always been thinking about doing, do it. Extend that hand to the person that is next to you or across from you. And it's easy to say these things in front of a camera. It's really easy. And it's easy to say these things in front of like a mirror. And I'm saying this to myself right now. But you actively have to do these things in order to be better. And that's the thing. I want to be better than everybody else. I don't give a fuck. I want to be able to stand on a pinnacle and look around and there's nobody beside me. Fuck all of that. Oh, this is lonely on the top bullshit. I don't care. I do not care. Because if you have never been to the lowest point in your life, you will never want something better. Sometimes you don't even have to be in the lowest point of your life. You just want better for yourself. The question genuinely is, don't you want to be better? Because I sure as fuck want to. I don't want to be the person who's watching all of these celebrities online, but like, oh my God, I wish I could be like them. I want to be the person who people are envious of. I might end up doing this, I might end up winning, or I might not. But at the end of the day, I want to know that, okay, yes, at the end of my life, I'm like, yo, at least I tried this shit. And this is one of them. If this will never be a regret for me. This will never be a regret for me because I said I was going to do it and I did it. I have how many videos now uploaded? Like 20 something videos uploaded. Nobody can be like, oh, you said you're going to do YouTube. I did it. What more do you want from me? But there's still more. I want more. And I'm not going to be greedy about it. I want more. But now the question you're supposed to ask yourself is, do you? And if you don't, that's fine. You can live your life. There's no harm, there's no foul. Nobody's going to shame you. Nobody's going to say anything like that. If you're content with where you are, that is fine. And this isn't to tell you, oh, go trample on your enemies and make sure you sabotage everybody in front of you. No, this is do what you want. People are never going to agree 100% with you. Never in your life will people be like, oh, I 100% agree with you. And if people do that, you are in an echo chamber and you need to leave that. Because you will never grow if you're in that continuous state of being like, oh, people are always agreeing with you. Because you will never learn, you will never adapt, and you can never surpass the points that you were in before. Like, that's why I keep saying, this isn't supposed to be a motivational, number or anything. It's just like, yo, do something with your life. And if you're doing something with your life already, keep going. Nowadays that being in somebody else's interview can make you a millionaire. Like, shit. If you're staying like paycheck to paycheck, then all of a sudden you're getting brand deals from multi-billion-dollar companies. Why not give it a try? Or if you've been sitting in front of a screen, or even if it's not even things like that, even if it's like a business, even if you like playing like music, like you like sounds, all the things I'm saying are artistic, like social media things. Even if you're just in a regular job and you've been there for like years, but you're like, yo, I can be like VP, and it's not to be like, oh, I can be the head of a company. You can be, yeah. But like, it's still like, yo, I can be VP or I can be an assistant to this person. I can be this thing. And it's genuinely like, yo, if you're willing to take certain kinds of risks with your life, why not give it? It's not like like as much as I might be making jokes and all, or like all the other videos, it's like, what's the like there's this meme about, oh, what's the worst that can happen? The next you know, that someone pulls out a shotgun and shoots you in your kneecap. That can happen, sure, but like, I don't know what to tell you with that information. You know, that could happen. That could very well happen to you. You know, but that's still life. You know, what are you gonna say? I'm tired. I'm tired of hiding certain sides of myself simply just because people are like, oh, that's too strange. That's like, I'm gonna tell you this shit now. It's only cringe until when you start making money from it. Then everybody's like, oh, I always believed. Or like, yo, it's only, that's not great until when you're in a position that's similar to them. Everybody's like, that's an amazing idea. It's only cringe. It's only wrong. It's only meh until when it actually works. So why not just give it a try? And this year, it's a year where I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give it my hardest try. I'm gonna throw out as many lobs. I'm gonna throw everything, you know. At least one of that shit gonna enter into the bucket. At least one. I'm not saying I'm Steph Curry, but like shit, I can throw basketballs in the air. Trust. But yeah, this is just like a New Year message to y'all. Do what you love doing, not just because of like the monetary value, but genuinely in your heart, what you care to do. And I hope it works out. And I hope you guys hope that it works out for me too. You know, thank you. Thank you guys so much. 2025 was amazing because I was able to do this and I was able to break past certain barriers that I kept in front of myself. And I hope that in 2026, I can do so much more. And I will do so much more. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of the year and keep going. I wish you guys luck. Bye-bye.